First at 5, we are taking you live across Texas, tracking the Arctic blast that has caused an icy mess out there on the roads. Here in Houston, we are below freezing in the hill country where roads are frozen and shut down. And also in Dallas, it is day 2 of a dicey commute.
And just take a look at the scene up north. Highways, roads, and buildings all coated with snow, ice, and sleet. And the coldest temperatures are still to come. Welcome to KHOU 11 Morning News and good morning, Houston.
It is Friday, February 4th, 2022, and it is an icy, chilly morning all across the state. Good morning to you. I'm Steph Simmons along with Kimberly Davis and Dave Freilich.
Yeah, Steph, we got more than 100 school closures rolling out all morning at the bottom of your screen.
We have live team coverage of weather and traffic. Jennifer Reyna, Kim Castro, Cheetah Craft, all here for you this morning. It is 5:01. Cheetah, kick off weather and traffic on the ones.
Well, good morning, guys. Most of the moisture is trying to move on out of here. It's barely hugging the immediate coastal areas there from Brazoria County, just a slight bit there from Matagorda County, and that is it. Okay, so we're not expecting anything else to fall. However, anything that did freeze late last night or into our overnight hours, it is going to stay frozen. The reason why, check out our temperatures. Everyone in the 20s with the exception of Galveston at 34, which now Galveston may hit the freezing mark before all is said and done. I think we'll bottom out this morning around 7:30 a.m. Factor in the wind, sustained around 10 to 20 miles per hour. It's already feeling in the teens and even single digits areas northwest of town. Quick day part planner for you. We stay in the 30s throughout the day. These feels like temperatures remain basically in the 20s. So Kim, it is going to be a brutally cold day ahead. If people are watching this morning snuggled up and the heater's on, lucky you. Stay that way.
Frigid Friday indeed. Those current winds that you showed us, Cheetah, will they stay pretty much stagnant throughout this late morning into the afternoon, right around 15 to 20, potentially getting up to 22 miles an hour. And that means yeah, it is going to feel extremely chilly out there. We do have a hard freeze warning in effect. If you want to avoid the worst of it, here it is for you. Between 6 o'clock in the morning and 7:30, feels like single digits for our far western counties. That includes Washington, the northern part of Austin, the northern part of Colorado. That's where you're going to feel the single digits. Everybody else looking at the teens, very low 20s. Bush, Pearland feels like 20, 21 degrees for you this morning. And it really stays chilly until we see the peak sunshine coming through by the noon hour. J. Ray?
All right, Kim, thank you. Did want to update you that according to TxDOT now, there are less than 20 locations where there are icy conditions. I think things are improving just because the more traffic that hits certain roadways, the better conditions that we end up seeing because the pavement ends up warming up just a bit. It's not like there are a lot of people driving or anything. That's not what I want to indicate. And I'm not saying that you should drive. I'm just saying that if you have to, it's going to be bridges and overpasses that you'll want to slow your speeds and watch. You can see the pre-treatment ahead. Heavy truck crash fire still working, not the fire itself, but obviously the scene. It's been here for a while. It's going to continue to be here. South Beltway eastbound just before 288, but you can get through that location or you can take the service road. Either way, very light traffic. Light traffic overall, but if you have some place to be, just slow your speeds and know that black ice is even more likely if you're way out west, northwest, and on those really high overpasses. I just looked at the Fred Hartman Bridge. I looked at the East Loop. Traffic is able to get through, so I don't want you to be too afraid if you need to head to work this morning that you won't be able to get to your destination. I think you will be. You just need a whole lot more time and try to avoid those higher elevated surfaces. Over to you.
Absolutely, Jen. Thank you very much. Icy roads have been reported around the Houston area, but many of the big problems we're seeing are out west.
And right now, TxDOT is urging you to just stay home until this all clears up. You are taking a live look at drivetexas.org. The gray dots and lines that you see are icy roads that have already been reported. The blue lines are any freeway or road closures, and any red lines means that there's a car crash.
5:04 now. It was a scary night out on the roads across Houston. There were several crashes overnight, and some of them involved many cars. On the north side of town, a Harris County Precinct 1 deputy crashed her patrol car after she hit ice and then spun out of control. It happened at the North Loop and the Hardy Toll Road. Thankfully, she is okay, but she was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Now let's move to the south part of town. A fire truck caught fire after it crashed just before midnight. This happened on the Beltway at 288. Fire crews were able to get it under control and the lanes have since reopened there. And take a look at this huge pileup on the East Loop at the Ship Channel. Happened just after 10 o'clock last night. 6 cars involved there in that crash. No word yet on any injuries.
All right, this morning we've got live team coverage for you with the latest on the roads, as well as the airport, the power grid, and the hardest hit parts of the state.
Michelle Choi and Adam Bennett are both tracking conditions across the area. Michelle, we're going to start with you.
Yes, Steph and Dave, well, we're in the KHOU 11 weather tracker this morning. Right now, we're driving alongside the northbound lanes of 59. Late last night, Sugar Land police actually had to shut down both directions of the Southwest Freeway to make sure folks weren't driving on dangerous icy conditions following a 12-car pileup. Now, here's a live look. Right now, we're actually following a road crew picking up barricades as we speak from the inbound entrance ramps. That's because both inbound and outbound lanes are now back open. Now, as I mentioned, Sugar Land police were forced to shut down both directions of 59 last night. Here's some video after a wreck involving 12 cars that police say was due to ice forming on the roadway. This is video of that backup caused by the accident and closure last night. Now, fortunately, we're told no one was seriously hurt in this crash. But this wasn't the only multi-car wreck caused by dangerous icy conditions. There was also a 10-car pileup on the West Park Toll Road near FM 1464 last night. The call came in to Fort Bend County Precinct 1 just before 8. An 8-year-old girl was taken to the hospital for a cut on her lip, and one man was checked for a sore shoulder, but no other injuries, fortunately, were reported. All lanes were also shut down on the Fort Bend County side because of the ice. We actually spoke with the driver who was the first car to be hit.
These roads are super slippery. There's absolutely nothing you can do to save yourself, and we're just lucky to be alive with about 8 or 10 crashes today. So stay home, stay safe.
Now back out here live, here's another look as road crews are picking up barricades here along 59. I just want to let you know that police are asking folks to, again, follow that advice. The man you just heard from was saying, you know, if you can avoid going out this morning, just stay home, stay safe, be warm until the sun comes up and the temperatures go up just a bit. Back to you.
That certainly is good advice. Michelle Choi tracking the roads in Sugar Land this morning. Michelle, thanks.
Continuing our team coverage now this morning, let's head about 90 miles northwest to see what's happening in College Station. That's where we find our Adam Bennett for us live this morning. Adam, I know it's cold out there. What is it looking like right now?
I'll tell you what, Kimberly, if you're not quite awake just yet, you will be the second you walk outside. It is very cold here. The important thing is the feels like temperature. When I checked on my phone just a few minutes ago, it was 10 degrees, and it will be getting into the single digits very soon. So you will definitely feel it the second you walk out. Now, the good news is this is Highway 6 behind me. There's not a lot of traffic, which is good. TxDOT wants people to stay off the roads, and the traffic we do see is moving, but there still are a couple of icy spots in town here at Harvey Mitchell by A&M, and a couple more just west of Bryan off of State Highway 21. So just be careful if you do have to drive. Now, speaking of Texas A&M, they are starting classes a couple hours later than usual. They're going to start at 10 this morning. Again, that is because of the winter weather conditions here in town. TxDOT, they have been working since before this storm even hit. They continued to work throughout the night, and they say they'll keep working today. Their big thing is just looking out for any of those icy spots that remain on those overpasses, and they're asking this if you do have to be out and you do see their crews treating those roads.
Don't come up and crowd us, because we're trying to get that out on the roadway. But the best thing that we're trying to tell everyone across the state of Texas is, first, if you don't have to drive, stay home.
Yeah, and the good news is the precipitation that we saw yesterday, that heavy rain, that sleet, it is gone this morning. Most of the pavement is dry, but because it's dark, it is hard to see those icy spots. So if you absolutely do have to be out, just really try to slow down as much as you can. Kimberly?
Yeah, watch out for that black ice for sure. Adam Bennett live in College Station for us. Thanks so much.
5:09 now to reports of a house fire overnight in southeast Houston. It happened around 10:45 on Bonner Drive near Cesar Chavez High School. HFD crews were returning from another house fire when they spotted the flames from the house and saw the homeowner outside. There are reports that space heaters were being used inside that home, but it's not clear whether this caused the fire. No injuries were reported.
All eyes are on ERCOT this morning as many people pump up the heat on those thermometers. to help stay warm.
Absolutely. Governor Abbott says as of now, the grid is able to handle the increase in power demand. Here's a look at this real-time data from ERCOT. The thin purple line represents the amount of power that's available right now. The teal line is the amount that's being used. Now, if those lines ever cross, that could mean blackouts. But as of right now, we're in good shape.
In short, to repeat what the chairman of the PUC has said, the Texas electric grid is the most reliable and resilient that it's ever been.
Peak usage is expected to hit at 8 this morning. You can track the supply and demand yourself anytime online. We made it very easy for you. Just go to khou.com or our KHOU 11 app.
All right, it is 5:11. Time for weather and traffic on the ones. Cheetah, when will we see relief from the cold?
Isn't that what everybody wants to know? It's like, come on, when is it going to change? Well, this weekend, we're going to expect, in fact, that's what I wanted to actually start in on. So if you're saying, when can we expect these 50s? We'll top out 50 degrees tomorrow, more of the day in the 30s and 40s. And then notice Sunday, that's when temperatures become a little bit more mild. Now today, we spend the entire day basically in the 20s and 30s. That is why we have a hard freeze warning. That's for all of our counties to the northwest. And then take a look at this wind chill advisory. This continues through noon, and I think it will continue through noon because temperatures are just going to hover even at lunchtime today, right around the freezing point. So some of these feels like or wind chill temperatures will actually be in the 20s through your lunchtime hour. Guys, single digits feels like here in College Station. So Jen, that is just cold. I've even seen some of the cameras kind of bouncing around thanks to the winds out there.
Okay. Well, Cheetah, that's going to be the story of this morning where we're asking folks, if you could just stay put, just stay right there. We do still have 10 plus locations where ice is still reported. Some good news, as you just heard us say, the Sugar Land, that's not going to be a problem. Roads have reopened off of 59. The heavy truck crash that is working on the South Beltway eastbound before 288 is still working. I have the camera shot pulled up of the East Loop at Market Street because I was hearing that the East Loop was closed, but I see traffic getting through on both sides. Any elevated surfaces or again, those huge flyovers, we recommend that you do not take the chance or you severely slow your speeds through the areas. Over to you.